GNUS Brands stock price prediction. Okay, so here we are with another video about GNUS Brands. So GNUS Brands has actually been one of the laggards in my portfolio probably over the last year or so, but I saw a lot of great things happening with the company. So we have a lot of news to talk about, including an update on the superhero kindergarten cartoon by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and also a massive equity stake increase by a New York City hedge fund, guys. So be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video. We'll talk about all of this. But before I get into the video, guys, I want to remind you again to head over to Webull and grab your 4 free stocks. All you have to do is sign up for Webull, open a brokerage account, and deposit at least $100, and you'll get 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600. So guys, let's get into the video. So GNUS Brands, you guys are new to the channel. You know I talked a lot about GNUS Brands, how this company has a huge growth potential, mainly because of the transition from people watching content via cable to streaming. So streaming content on their Roku, streaming content on their smartphones, streaming content on their televisions, their laptops, tablets, etc. And GNUS Brands is one of these companies that is well positioned in the children's, that's age 2 to 12 space, to capitalize on this growth. So if we take a look here at the 1-year chart, we can see that after announcing the cartoon channel, this stock shot up, and we've seen this happen recently. This was basically a lot of this was like a short squeeze and a lot just basically a scarcity of shares available. So we've seen this happen recently with stocks like GameStop. We saw this happen last year with stocks like Urban One and Kodak. So basically, this was basically a trading movement. This didn't really have anything to do with the company, and now we can see now that a lot of big money is coming into the stock. It looks like a lot of hedge funds, institutional managers, it's institutional funds and things like that are coming into the stock. So guys, let's update you on kind of some of the big news updates that have been going on with the company. I'm going to give you guys kind of a prediction on where I think the stock is headed. So one of the first things that caught my eye was that there was a major equity stake increase in GNUS Brands over the weekend in terms of last week. So if we head over here, we can see that you guys can check out all of these announcements. So whenever a company enters like a big stake to increase their ownership, whether it's like a substantial stake, so not like a retail investor like you and me, but like when it's an institutional investor or a hedge fund or something like that, when they're purchasing a lot of shares, they are forced to file a form with the SEC. So you could check all of these forms by simply going to the GNUS Brands website and going under investors and then checking SEC filings. So what I noticed here really caught my eye. So there's a filing done by Embry Asset Management, and they increased their stake in GNUS Brands to over 3%. So, and they purchased an additional 8 million shares. So before they had 2 million shares, and then they purchased 10 million shares total last week on January 20th, guys. So why is this so important? Well, let's take a look at this kind of hedge fund. So we see Embry Asset Management. I headed over to their LinkedIn. It says they're based out of New York. It says Embry is an event-driven hedge fund based in Midtown Manhattan. We focus on direct investments in public companies with market cap under 500 million. So basically, this is a hedge fund based out of New York City, and they're focusing basically on smaller cap, small cap and micro cap stocks. So obviously I've been extremely bullish on GNUS Brands all of this time, and it's really nice to see kind of a hedge fund come in and buy up the stock. So that's an amazing bullish shine. And one of the reasons is this company now has, as of right now, the current stock price is around $1.73. So they have now, they have over $17 million invested in this company. And obviously, they're probably seeing a lot of the same things that we've noted, how the company has, basically grown so much, how they've done tons of deals with Samsung. They've done deals with, to get their content on Roku. They've done deals to get their content, basically spread all over the place. They're uploading more cartoons on the cartoon channel. They expanded with the cartoon classroom. They have the rights to Stan Lee's, a lot of Stan Lee's intellectual properties. They acquired Chizcom, the largest kids media buyer in North America. So obviously, this hedge fund is seeing something, but it's probably seeing something that we're not seeing. So what I want to talk about is recently, GNUS Brands also announced a press release talking about the superhero kindergarten cartoon. And I think that this hedge fund definitely is coming in and buying up a ton of shares. They purchased 8 million shares last week. So obviously with a huge buy like this is a huge bullish signal. And, it's definitely a sign that things are moving in the right direction. So I know it's been, a really slow and steady movement, guys. And we've seen a lot of stocks over the last 6 months absolutely skyrocket. And there have been times myself where I thought about just selling off my Genius stake for like a tiny loss, maybe like, I was down basically around like 5 or 10%. And I was thinking about maybe just buying something else that was flying much higher, but that's burned me in the past. So I did the same thing with NEO. I know a lot of you guys have been saying I can't really compare NEO to Genius Brands, and I'm not. Obviously, NEO is like the Tesla of China. It has much bigger growth potential. But what I'm talking about is simply the chart. So the same chart that happened with NEO, the CEO William Lee a couple years ago, he was on 2020 talking about his company. People are laughing at this guy saying, what does he think he's talking about? These cars, no one's going to buy an electric car. And then, the stock sold off and it was trickling for like around a couple dollars. And then once he started delivering those vehicles in China, the stock soared. So I'm not really comparing the company side by side. I'm comparing the chart, the experience of how you have a company with massive interest and then people lose interest. And then once the company starts delivering, the stock ends up following the company's production and deliveries. So that's basically what's here at Genius Brands. They made a lot of claims to launch the Cartoon Channel app. They made a lot of claims to launch cartoons with Shaquille O'Neal and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And now it looks like that they're finally backing up those claims. So let's take a look at the new news on the superhero kindergarten cartoon. Okay, so it looks like here that they're hosting, it says, an exclusive sneak peek for the new animated series Stan Lee's Superhero Kindergarten with the introduction by star and co-executive producer Arnold Schwarzenegger. So that's going to be taking place basically on January 29th to the 31st. So this is a good sign because I think a lot of people ended up buying the stock because they heard about Arnold Schwarzenegger getting involved with it, and that's what initially piqued my interest as well. So it's just nice to see that they're actually backing up what they claim to do and that they're putting out this cartoon, because I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is a huge celebrity. He's a global icon. And the fact that he is getting involved with Genius Brands, that's going to bring a lot of attention to it. And of course, next year we have Shaquille O'Neal, NBA champion and huge celebrity in the United States. If you guys are basketball fans, you know a lot about Shaq and his career with the Lakers and playing with Kobe Bryant and stuff like that. So this company is basically partnering with celebrities and then using their fame and their fortune to kind of launch cartoons to kind of get more exposure for the company, and also to obviously help kids learn, because a lot of the content out there for kids 2 to 12, it's just not really age appropriate. So it's really nice to see a company come out with clean content that doesn't have nudity references and promoting things like junk food and stuff like that. So it's just really nice overall to see what this company is doing, guys. So now let's talk a little bit where about to think the stock price is going in the short run. Well, I've been loyal to this company, and I didn't want to miss out because I ended up dumping NEO stock way too early. So that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of NEO. I'm thinking about you got to be patient, guys. So, in this crazy market, where we see wild swings all the time and we see so many people trading on apps like Robinhood and stuff like that, you're going to see wild swings. And I read a quote from the CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael Slayer. He said, volatility means vitality. So obviously you could put your money in a stock like Walmart, or you put your stock in money in a stock like Procter & Gamble, but you're not going to get much volatility. So you're not going to get many returns. So what we're looking for here, guys, especially if you guys have a longer term time frame until retirement, you're looking for returns. And the only way you're going to get returns, you're going to have to be investing in volatile stocks. So Tesla is a volatile stock. It has wild swings. Sometimes it's up 5%, 10%. Sometimes it's down 5%, 10%. So that's just the risk you're going to have to take if you want impressive returns. So obviously there is risk with Genius Brands, and we can see it's basically just been trading between $1 and $2 over the last 6 months. But we can see here, I was really loving the stock when it was sitting at $1. I knew that it wasn't going to dip below that point because obviously there would be a risk of being delisted by the NASDAQ. But as we can see here, the stock has moved from $1 in September to actually tapped $2 resistance back when they had Shaquille O'Neal announce the cartoon and things like that, and he came in as an investor. But now we're seeing, there's nice support here at around $1.30, and now we're moving much higher. And the fact that this hedge fund purchased another 8 million shares is a huge bullish catalyst movement, guys. So I think the next stop for Genius Brands, we take a look here at the 5-day chart. There's been some massive action. So the stock is up 15% over the last 5 days, and you know, it just keeps moving higher. So I think this is the next stage. We're in the second inning now. Last year was the first inning. People were becoming aware of the Cartoon Channel app, and now we're moving much higher. So like I said, my next price target is $2. Once we can hit the $2 mark, I think that's a huge milestone for this company, because it's been trapped between $1 and $1.99 for like the longest time, guys. And we know that the stock has massive explosive potential, as we could see here on the previous breakout in last summer when it hit basically, you know, almost went to $11 or $12. We know the potential is there. So now we're just looking for the company to back up. So like I said, now I still think the stock is super cheap. And one of the reasons why I think that hedge fund picked up so many shares is they see the potential upside. So for me, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of price targets. So in the short term, I think we're just looking to see $2. We need to see the stock move from $1 to $2. And then eventually we want the stock to move out of penny stock status. So a lot of big money and a lot of institutional investors won't touch stocks under $5. It's just a different ball game. There are a lot of these companies and these bigger institutional investment and hedge funds and stuff like that. They don't touch cheap stocks. As you can see with Impri Asset Management, they focus on smaller companies with market caps of under 500 million. But in order to get bigger and better players into the stock, we're going to need to get out of the penny stock status. So my first look is to move to $2. And we saw a lot of the similar things with a stock called Ezea, guys. I'm going to update you guys on that stock. That stock's been a huge winner, but that stock's kind of moved out of the penny stock status as well. And now there's the potential to move much higher. So then in the long term, I was thinking, where could this stock actually end up long term? So for me, I've got like a $5 billion market cap. I'm thinking probably by the end of the year, if the company keeps delivering, and once Shaq's cartoon comes out, that's going to really help get a lot of publicity for this company, because Shaq is still a huge celebrity. He does a show on NBA on TNT, so he has a media platform to basically plug his cartoon and things like that. He has a lot of followers on Instagram and Twitter and things like that. So there's a lot of opportunity for Shaquille O'Neal coming in this company as well. But I would think this is definitely a 10x stock. I wouldn't be surprised to see this stock with around a $5 billion market cap in the future. And there is a buyout potential as well. You know, a lot of people have been talking rumors on companies like Disney perhaps coming in and buying it out. And Disney has invested a ton of money into their Disney Plus streaming, so they're definitely interested in the streaming side of things, so that would be really awesome. But I would think 10x upside over the next 1 to 2 years, which would put the stock at around $18, guys. And that's one of the reasons I like it so much. You got a very cheap penny stock that has a potential to 5 or 10x, guys. But in the short run, I'm just looking for $2. I think we can hit that by this week, but we'll really see what happens. Obviously, do your own due diligence, guys. Remember, do not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. And for a stock like this, I'm willing to wait at least another year or so. Obviously, I have a lot of money in other EV stocks and things like that that are moving higher, but I'm holding just under 2,000 shares in this stock. It's still speculative, of course. It's still a penny stock, but I really like what the company is doing, and I've watched a lot of the content myself, and it's awesome. So it's great content, and I just like everything that they're doing. So that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash the like button if you enjoy my content, and subscribe for more future videos. If you guys want to talk more about penny stocks like Genius Brands and other stocks, be sure to check out my private Discord chat. The link is in the description. And also be sure to sign up for my email newsletter where I talk about the stocks that I'm watching every Monday through Friday. You can get that in the description as well. So that's it. Until next time, guys. Take care.